Have you ever noticed how the loudest person in the room is often not the most confident? There's a quiet power in genuine self-assurance, one that doesn't need to shout to be heard. True confidence is a state of being, not an act of performing. It doesn't announce its arrival with a trumpet blast. Its presence is simply felt, like the stillness before a storm or the calm depth of the ocean. It resides in the unhurried gesture, the steady gaze, the comfortable silence. Insecurity, on the other hand, is a hungry ghost. It craves attention, validation, and applause. It dresses up in the costume of confidence, using loudness as its shield and stage. But this performance is fragile. It's a house of cards built on the hope that if it makes enough noise, no one will notice the emptiness inside. We're going to explore this fascinating paradox, why real confidence is often quiet, and why the noise we mistake for strength is usually a sign of deep-seated insecurity. Let's dissect why loud behavior so often gets mistaken for confidence. It's a performance designed to capture your attention. The person who constantly interrupts, boasts about their achievements, or dominates every conversation is broadcasting a signal. But what is that signal really saying? It's a plea for validation. They are essentially asking, am I good enough? Am I important? Do you see me? Every laugh they get, every nod of agreement, every moment they hold the spotlight feels like a dose of reassurance. It temporarily soothes the gnawing feeling of inadequacy. This behavior is a coping mechanism. Think of it like a preemptive strike. By projecting an image of overwhelming self-belief, they hope to convince both you and themselves. The logic is simple. If I act like the most confident person here, maybe I'll start to believe it, and maybe you will too. They fill the space with words to avoid the discomfort of silence, where their own self-doubt might creep in. This isn't strength, it's a frantic attempt to outrun a shadow. The need to be seen and heard at all costs is exhausting. It requires constant energy, constant management of others' perceptions. It's a full-time job with no real reward, because external validation is like salt water. The more you drink, the thirstier you become. It can never truly quench the internal need for self-acceptance. Now let's turn our attention to quiet confidence. Picture someone who is completely at ease with themselves. They don't need to be the center of attention. They listen more than they speak. They are present, observant, and grounded. This isn't passivity, it's a profound sense of inner security. When you are truly confident, you feel settled. You have nothing to prove. Your sense of self-worth comes from within, so you aren't desperately seeking it from the outside world. This inner stability allows you to be patient. You don't need to rush to fill every silence or jump in to prove your knowledge. You can wait, listen, and contribute when you have something meaningful to say. This quietness is not emptiness, it's fullness. It's the confidence of knowing your own value without needing a price tag assigned by others. Think about the most competent people you know, the master craftsperson, the seasoned expert, the wise leader. They rarely boast. Their skill, their knowledge, and their authority are demonstrated through their actions, not their words. Their calmness is a testament to their experience. They've faced challenges, they've made mistakes, and they've learned. They know that results speak for themselves. This is the core of quiet confidence. It's an energy of being, not of doing. It doesn't chase a reaction because it doesn't need one. It exists independently and securely, rooted in a deep understanding of oneself. Why is this quiet demeanor so powerful? It's because our brains are hardwired to associate calmness with control. Imagine two scenarios in a crisis. In one, a person is running around, shouting and panicking. In the other, a person is calm, focused, and deliberate. Who do you instinctively trust? The calm person, of course. Their emotional regulation signals to our primal brain that they have the situation under control. This control is interpreted as competence. When someone remains composed under pressure, it suggests they have the mental and emotional resources to handle complexity and adversity. This doesn't mean they don't feel stress or fear. It means they are not ruled by it. They can feel the emotion, acknowledge it, and still make rational, effective decisions. This ability to maintain an internal state of balance, regardless of external chaos, is incredibly attractive and reassuring. It's why we look to calm leaders in times of uncertainty. Their stillness gives us a sense of safety. It tells us that even if things are difficult, there is a steady hand at the helm. This competence, demonstrated through emotional control, is what truly earns trust and respect. Loudness can demand attention, but it can't command trust. Trust is given to those who demonstrate they are a source of stability, not a source of noise. Despite its power, silence is frequently misunderstood in our fast-paced, extroverted world. We often mistake quietness for weakness, shyness, or a lack of intelligence. Someone who doesn't immediately jump into a debate might be seen as having nothing to contribute. Someone who is reserved might be labeled as aloof or uninterested. This is a profound misreading of human behavior. More often than not, this silence is not a void. It is a space. It's a space for listening, for observing, for thinking before speaking. The person who holds back isn't necessarily weak. They may be exercising restraint. And restraint is a formidable type of strength. It is the conscious decision not to act, not to speak, not to react impulsively. Think of it as unspent power. It's the archer holding the arrow, waiting for the perfect moment to release. The person who can comfortably sit in silence, who can listen without the urge to interrupt, who can absorb criticism without a defensive outburst. This person possesses a rare and powerful form of self-control. It's easy to react, to let our emotions spill out. It takes real strength to hold them, to process them, and to respond with intention. So the next time you encounter silence, don't be so quick to judge it as weakness. Look closer. You might just be witnessing strength in its most disciplined and potent form. So what is the real signal of confidence? It's not about being loud or quiet. It's about being congruent. It's when your inner state of self-acceptance is reflected in your outward behavior. The truly confident person isn't playing a game. They're not trying to win the most confident award. They are simply being themselves. They don't see conversations as competitions to be won, or social gatherings as stages to perform on. Their goal is connection, understanding, and authentic expression, not domination. Because their self-worth is stable and internal, they don't feel threatened by others' success. In fact, they can celebrate it genuinely. They can ask questions because they aren't afraid of not knowing the answer. They can admit mistakes because their identity isn't tied to being perfect. True confidence doesn't compete. It coexists. It doesn't need to diminish others to feel big. It stands on its own, grounded and secure. It is the quiet authority that comes from knowing who you are and being at peace with it. This is the ultimate signal, the one that can't be faked. It's the quiet, unshakable presence of a person who has found their center. Thank you for watching.